All right, there's a local man who is inspiring young adults, putting a spin on ancient lessons.
Yes, Mitch Albom shows us how Dan Horwitz is using the well to help others in the heart of Detroit.
Seems like everywhere I go, the more I see, the less I know.
Dan Horwitz may not be your typical rabbi, but he is inspiring young adults all over Metro Detroit.
We're living in an era in which most millennials are not interested in being affiliated with formal institutions. I don't care if you're a believer or not. I wouldn't call myself a believer in the traditional sense. I'm really interested in building community and seeing if we can learn from this wisdom tradition that we've inherited.
So Dan formed The Well, a Jewish community building outreach program focused on the needs of young adults.
We use education and spirituality as lenses, and I think a piece of what we're doing is trying to figure out what sticks, what's meaningful, what excites people.
Everything Dan learns, he pours into The Well's many community-focused programs, all with one goal in mind: being inclusive, inspiring, and relevant.
Why do you call it The Well?
If you look at everything cool that ever happened in the Bible, it happened at the well. I like the notion that it's rooted, but it has something that you take away with you.
Is this almost like, modernizing for survival?
Finding meaningful ways to help human beings self-actualize is what this is all about. And I think Judaism and the wisdom that is Judaism is one path that I think will speak to many, for both Jews and non-Jews, frankly. I don't think it's right for everybody, but I think that it's one way to have people walk in the world with a sense of purpose.
And do people meet you and say, "You do not look like a rabbi"?
I get that all the time. My response is generally, well, how should a rabbi look? Right? That's rabbi literally means teacher. How should your teacher look?
Infusing ancient traditions with modern thinking, Dan Horwitz is guiding young adults to the well, right here in the heart of Detroit.
A nice story. Thank you, Mitch. Joining us live in the D is Dan Horwitz. Thank you for being here, Rabbi.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Jason was like, that's amazing, you're a rabbi.
At age 33. Yeah. You tend to think of rabbis as being elders, but...
I will say one of the perks of being clergy is that if you go a couple of days without shaving out of laziness, people think it's for some sort of spiritual intention, so you can get away with it.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. So talk to us a little bit about where you host your gatherings, The Well. It looks more like of a party atmosphere or a celebration.
Interesting. So they actually videoed us out at Fifth Avenue in Royal Oak for the Mitch piece, which was really lovely, and we were celebrating the Jewish holiday of Simchat Torah. So the Jewish tradition has something called the Torah, which is the 5 books of Moses, and every year, it's kind of like the best book club ever, we just read those same 5 books. And there's a celebration when you reach the end, and then you kind of go back to the beginning, and we decided why not bring this amazing ritual object that is kind of our inherited cultural tradition and narrative, this Torah scroll, out to the pub, to pub trivia, where we know that young people are and would be anyway, and create this opportunity. So we're willing to meet in pubs. We do a lot in coffee shops, in people's homes, third spaces in general, knowing that most young adults, at least at this life stage, 20s and 30s, aren't necessarily finding their homes in houses of worship within those physical structures.
Right. What do you think it is about, not just Judaism, but if you're a Catholic or a Protestant or what have you, it seems like the younger generations aren't going to church, going to synagogue like they used to in the past. Is there a reason for that, do you think? I think
there are a number of key distinctions. First, I think in a lot of traditional religious communities, a big piece of religious community is passing down tradition to children. And what we're finding now is people are getting married on average, if they get married at all, roughly a decade later than they used to. The average wedding involving a young Jewish person is in their early 30s, whereas it used to be it might have been right out of college if they went to college in their early 20s. So there's now at least this new decade that people are kind of exploring and experimenting with, coupled with the fact that in the 21st century, a lot of folks just aren't connecting necessarily in the same ways, and to think that one of the beautiful things about houses of worship is the intergeneration, the ability of multiple generations to come together.
Sure.
And yet to think that an octogenarian is going to worship in the same way that a 20-something is going to worship and connect to the same music or rhythm or pace or those pieces is a struggle as well in many ways.
All right, so these spaces are just more approachable to people who are younger, would you say?
For sure. So ultimately, we're striving to build community, coupled with the fact that you don't have to necessarily be in a house of worship to have a spiritual moment. People have spiritual moments in nature. People have spiritual moments watching their child sing a song in their living room, right? So finding meaningful ways to connect with people wherever they are and to use it as a catalyst for building community.
You know where he'd be good? What's the buzz? have him on What's the Buzz, mix it up with the panel. Would you be available to come on and just talk culture or whatever?
I can make that work.
Okay, good.
All right. Have a rabbi on the panel. It'd be nice.
That'd be really interesting. So what's the reaction that you get from people who do attend these gatherings, who attend the well? Because I'm sure a lot of them had the traditional synagogue or experience, and now this is so different. Maybe it's like a coming home to them in a way. What is the reaction you get from people?
So it's really fascinating because we're touching people who are either often even non-Jewish, exploring Judaism, or in relationship with people who happen to be Jewish and are surprised to find an inclusive and welcoming space where human beings are cherished regardless of what their background might be. And then we're finding people who are more traditionally observant and grew up more traditional and kind of anywhere and everywhere in between. So I think we're serving different needs and different purposes for people depending on where they are on the spectrum, or I should say regardless of where they are on that observance spectrum.
Very cool.
All right. Any other information where people can find you?
For sure. I would say check us out at meetyouatthewell.org, meetyouatthewell.org. We like to keep it not too succinct, clearly, but meetyouatthewell.org. And looking forward to connecting with people in the ways that are authentic to them on their particular paths.
Awesome. Thank you.